Mulch Dickens was kind of based. I remember though, I told my wife Jackie I had invented this character, and I said, oh yeah, we invented this character. I invented this character. He's called Mulch, and he's a big wind problem. And she says, oh, we know where that came from. So I don't know what she meant by that. If you know where that came from, get in the airplane. Okay, we got someone else over here. Yep, there's someone at the edge right there.
Hi, I'm Jimmy.
Jimmy, yes.
If you had the Artemis Fowl books turned into films,
Yes.
who would you have playing Root or Foley?
That's a very specific question. I usually get, Jimmy, you have to understand, I usually get questions like, do you like snowmen? What's your favourite colour, blue? So, if they were turning into films, which I hope they will, because we're working on them, I think... It's like a whole crowd of Michael Jackson fans. I think Danny DeVito would be an excellent Mulch Dickens. As for Bertler, I'll probably play that myself. Hey, if Tom Cruise can play an Irishman, I can play Bonnie. You've seen Tom Cruise in Far and Away. If you haven't, then spare yourself the mental scarring.
Oh, you're a conquer, Shannon. Yes, you are.
Anyway, no, I love Tom. So I don't really know. I don't really think about that. In my head, they're all my brothers and my friends, and it's very hard for me to imagine anyone else playing those people apart. Even the comic books. I love the comic books, but it's hard for me to connect with them because they're so different. Although people love them. So I think I love Danny DeVito. I always thought he was a great actor, and I loved him in Matilda. He was fantastic. And if you ever get to go, if you're ever in London, go and see Matilda. It is the most amazing, isn't it? Did you see it? It's the most amazing musical I've ever seen, so go and see that if you're there. And Rock of Ages, but only to dance. We brought our son to Rock of Ages accidentally, and they didn't tell us we shouldn't have brought him. What's happening, Daddy? What's happening? They're dancing, shut up. Sorry, kids, for your parents. Okay, we have someone over here, just on the end there. Just do a black t-shirt.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
I really love your books.
Oh, thank you very much.
Where do you get your inspiration for the plot lines from?
Yeah, the plot lines, many of the plot lines are built around a single thing. Sometimes I build a whole plot line around a word, or I imagine one incident. And usually, I don't even know that this idea will fit with that idea. But I write down every idea that I ever have, even if it's the smallest thing, like sometimes I would think, for some reason I would think, green bird. Ooh, green bird, I'll write that down. And it makes no sense at the time. But it's amazing how your brain, your subconscious is actually throwing these up and has put them together for a reason. And before you know it, they all link up like the links on a chain, and it's a story. And a story isn't just one idea, it's hundreds of ideas. It's the difference. A short story might have one idea, but a novel might have 100. So it doesn't happen overnight. For example, with the Artemis Fowl one, the first thing I thought of was the word leprechaun. And I thought, well, if you spelled that differently, it could be L-E-P-R-E-C-O-N. And that sounds like a police force, the L-E-P. And then you've got recon, and that's short for reconnaissance. So you've got the L-E, something police reconnaissance. And I just got this buzz, like you do when you hear a really good song. Oh, that could be something. And I said, well, what's L-E? Well, it can't be lower earth, because that sounds like middle earth. So I call it lower elements. So lower elements police reconnaissance division. Oh, that's good. I went on the internet immediately, and I typed in L-E-P recon, and nothing came up. Because often I have ideas, and I type them in, and you find someone else has already thought of it. I'm sure this happens to writers all the time. You know that book, I'm Number 4? I had a plan of a book that was very similar to that, except good. Don't tell him that, book people, don't tell him that. I was just kidding. You know that was written by two of the people in Take That. Amazing. very talented. Anyway, so when that came out, I was disgusted because I was like, oh yeah, I had the one about the aliens being chased from another planet and living on Earth in a school. I was disgusted with it, but it happens all the time. When I was a kid, I got very paranoid because I had two stories. One was called The Karate Kid, and the other one was called Supernova. And both of those were made. One, The Karate Kid, you've all seen, and then Supernova was a comic book. And I started to believe that the FBI were watching me. And writing like this, waving at the sky, get away! So after about 6 months in the sanitarium, I came home. So I can't even remember what the question was now. Oh, the inspiration, yes. So I built that whole thing around the word LEP recon. And another one was that I wrote a crime book called Plugged, which means, you know, to get shot. And I was watching, this happened, I was watching at the Late Late Show, which is the show we have in Ireland. And the thing was, they brought 3 men in who had hair transplants. And they called it Plugged. So we got plugged. I said, wow, that's good. Because plugged means shot. And plugged also means hair transplants. And I started thinking, and one guy said, when you get these, very often, you need to have 2 surgeries. So they do the back half of your head first, and then they do the front bit, okay? And I thought, well, what if a guy was getting kind of a dodgy surgeon to do it on the cheap, and he does the back half, and then goes missing. So this guy's left, he goes in for a surgery with just, you know, back half, straight line there, he goes in and there's no doctor. He has to find that doctor, or forever wear a hat. And to me that's funny. So that became a book, but again that was all built up around one word. And in this book I knew that the ending had to be so good. So I concocted the ending first and then worked backwards, almost like a crime. I've got someone there who's laughing now. I haven't said anything yet. Okay. Do you want to sing then, Cam?
I've got the voice for it. Hi Owen, I'm Taya.
How are you?
I'm not bad. Yourself, thank you.
Just two of us, keep going. Talk among yourselves.
Just wondering what gave you the inspiration to change your books, to start changing them into the graphic novels?
Well, I've always been a graphic novel fan, and my ambition initially was to be a graphic novel artist who would write his own comic books. And when I got to about, I was okay till I got to about 19 or 20, and I just realised that I wasn't quite good enough. I knew I would have been good enough to be one of those bad comics you see that aren't great, but I also knew what the good comics were. You know, I saw Frank Miller, Mike Vignola, all these amazing, John Romita Jr., all these fantastic artists, and I just knew if you hold my picture up beside theirs, it was so obvious they were great. But so I reluctantly let go of that, but I still kind of doodled. And when I wrote this book, shortly afterwards, I made a good friend called Andrew Dotkin, who has the same agent as me, and he said to me, you know, these would be great graphic novels. And actually, a light bulb went on, and I said, turn off that light, I'm talking to Andrew. And we have been friends ever since, and we've done two, and we've just done the Supernaturalist now. It's the most amazing thing, it'll be out soon. And we're working on the third Artemis Fowl. So I'm so happy. It's like all my dreams have come true. I just love it. And I was doing a show in the library last night, and I saw this Iron Man comic I hadn't seen. I was sitting down, and they were paging me. Oh, Colfer, please come, you've got a show to do, idiot. Get here, come here. I said, what? Tony Stark is in danger. So that's where I came